Hello and welcome. My name is Marisha. Thank you for joining me. Get your watercolors ready because we're about to create two loved themed cards. Let's go ahead and get started. First, I'm going to bring in Catherine Pooler's Coral Cabana, Be Mine, and Lemongrass inks, along with Strathmore watercolor paper. I'm now smushing the inks on my work surface. I'm then going to spritz the inks and the paper with water, and then using my watercolor brush, I'm going to apply the inks on the paper. Using scrapbook.com's nested hearts die set, I'm going to position the heart die on the paper and then die cut two hearts. I'm now bringing in a embossing ink pad and I'm going to apply the ink on the edge of the heart. I'm then going to apply gold embossing powder. Once I tap off the excess, I'm going to apply heat to melt the powder. There is something so satisfying about melting embossing powder. It is something I cannot explain, but I love it. Here is the result of the heart that I created. Next, I'm going to do a dry embossing technique using scrapbook.com's Mosaic A2 plate die. Following the instructions indicated on the platform top, I'm going to position the die on the platform, then the cardstock, then the embossing mat and adapter plate. To get a deeper impression, I'm going to add a shim. Sometimes I'll add a shim and an additional piece of cardstock, but for this project, I just added a shim. Once I'm done creating my sandwich, I'm then going to run it through my die cutting machine. And here is the result of the dry embossing technique. I love how this panel turned out. It is so beautiful. Now it's on to the next step. Using scrapbook.com's Love You and Love Sentiment die set, I die cut the Love from gold cardstock and the You from black mirrored cardstock. My favorite cardstock from cardstockwarehouse.com. Now I'm just positioning the die cuts on my panel. Once I'm happy with the placement, I'm then going to adhere them to the panel. For the smaller hearts, I added foam tape to the back just to have a touch of dimension on the card. Once I'm done, I'm trying to figure out what card base I'm going to use. Am I going to use white or this guava cardstock from Lawn Fawn? I decided to go with white, but I'm going to pull in the other card base on my next card. I'm then going to adhere the front to the card base, and here is the result. For my next card, I brought in another one of my favorite die sets, the Sunny Lane Florals die set from scrapbook.com. I die cut a few flowers off camera. I then also cut out a gold frame border that I'm going to adhere to the mosaic panel. This die set is from Heffy Doodle and it's actually one of my favorites. I actually purchased this recently and I've been using it on a few card projects lately. I'm now applying a little bit of Artiste glue to the frame and then I'm going to adhere it to the panel. Once done, I'm going to head on over to my Misty where I'm going to bring in scrapbook.com's Love You Sentiment stamp set. I selected the Hope Your Heart is Happy Today. This sentiment was so cute and I thought it fit perfectly with this card. I'm now positioning the stamp on the heart. Once I'm happy with the placement, I'm then going to ink up the stamp and stamp the sentiment on the heart 3 times just to make sure I have a crisp, clean impression. Next, I applied liquid adhesive to the back of the heart, and then I adhered it to the panel. At one point, I was trying to decide, do I want to add foam tape to the back of the heart? But eventually, I just decided to add liquid adhesive. But adding foam tape to create dimension on your panel is also an option. Now I'm positioning the flowers on my card front, and then I added liquid adhesive and foam tape to adhere them to the card front. And off camera, I decided to add a few gold pearl embellishments, and I then adhered the card front to my card base, and here is the final result. A simple card to create for your loved one for Valentine's Day or throughout the year. And let's take a look back at the first card that was created. Another very clean and simple card that you can create. Thank you for joining me on today. I appreciate you as always for stopping by. I thank you in advance for subscribing, clicking the thumbs up button and the notification bell so you never miss out on new tutorials. Please feel free to check out my blog at thediaryofbellerose.com. I am sending you love and a whole lot of hugs. Until the next crafty project, please take care.